This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WAUK Daily News Roundup for the Shaw, 101.1 FM and 540 AM in Waukesha.
For 540 WAUK News, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. The Bob Uecker statue outside the ballpark isn't alone. There's a growing tribute to the legendary broadcaster and personality. The voice of the Milwaukee Brewers passed away yesterday at the age of 90. The Milwaukee-born Mr. Baseball transformed his playing career into a Hall of Fame broadcasting career, along the way becoming a fixture on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and starring in popular Miller Lite commercials. His family revealed that Uecker had been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023. Details about a memorial service for Uecker have not been announced. A child in Wisconsin has died due to influenza. It marks the state's first pediatric flu-related death of the season. DHS reports that respiratory illnesses are widespread in Wisconsin, with a notable increase in emergency room visits for flu and RSV. Getting into the NFL draft in Green Bay will be free. Lisa Hale has a look at the Titletown options.
Nick Meisner, Vice President of Digital Marketing for Discover Green Bay, said while you can purchase things during the draft, attending and being part of the festivities will cost nothing.
The draft campus opens at noon, and basically it's like a festival of football inside the campus. It's like a state fair of football that people can enjoy, and that opens at noon and runs until the last pick of that day.
Meisner made his comments in a recent episode of Lean Local with Jim Schmidt. Find it at civicmedia.us. The NFL Draft 2025 takes to Lambeau April 24th through the 26th.
A big winter party celebrating 40 years will start with 40-degree temperatures. The Waukesha County Jamboree hits a milestone this year, with the winter part holding off for a few more days. There's fireworks tonight as part of the event and a drone show tomorrow. And that's news on 540 WAUK. I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
The Packers fire a coach. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. Although the Packers' defense improved the past year, there's been criticism they didn't put enough pressure on quarterbacks. Defensive line coach Jason Rebovich fired after 3 years in Green Bay. Meanwhile, defensive back Jair Alexander has missed nearly half the games the past 2 seasons due to injury. GM Brian Gutekunst asked, will Jair be back?
We're at the beginning stages of just kind of gathering information as a whole, before we start looking at next year and how we're going to lay this thing out.
And Bob Uecker has died after a 2-year battle with lung cancer. Uecker would have been 91 next Saturday.
He beat pancreatic cancer, which nobody beats. But he had another cancer now, and he did the job right to the end, which is extraordinary. And I kept trying to tell him to slow down, Kurt. There were days he would go have radiation treatment, then come to the ballpark and broadcast the game. It's unbelievable.
That's Brewers owner Mark Antanasio with Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Stand-up comic Bill Burr shared opinions on the catastrophic LA fires during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, like only Bill Burr can. After saying he was tired of people on the internet sitting at home in their underwear suddenly becoming fire experts, Burr attacked insurance companies, saying they will keep the people's premiums and give themselves bonuses, insinuating that they are the actual looters. John Cena's likability is off the charts with John Cena fans. The sometime actor, sometime wrestler will host a new talk series. Variety reports that Cena will host a 4-episode talker called What Drives You and will interview guests like Logan Paul, Jelly Roll, and Travis Barker and their favorite cars. This is a really original idea that was even more original when Jerry Seinfeld came up with it. What Drives You will air January 21st on the Roku channel. Malcolm in the Middle is putting the band back together. The crazy popular show that premiered in 2000 is ready for a reboot. Bryan Cranston and Jane Kasmerick will return, as well as series creator and head writer Linwood Boomer. Frankie Muniz also returns as Malcolm, who is now almost 40. During the show's 151-episode run, it pulled 33 Emmy nominations. Disney announced they will make 4 episodes to start. In Oh My Gosh, it's been a few weeks since Taylor Swift has made news. She is being a supportive girlfriend. Travis Kelce has decided to continue his NFL career despite falling stat lines, and Taylor Swift says she fully supports his decision. That's the story. It's not much, folks, but a little Taylor Swift news is less depressing than other news happening around the world. Rumors are flying again that The Goonies will have a sequel 40 years after its initial release. The cast has been back and forth on said rumors, which were also in the news last September. The original Goonies said they had heard nothing concrete in regard to a remake or sequel. The Goonies follows a group of kids in a seaside town in Oregon who try to prevent developers from taking over their neighborhood. Not sure if they will have the same mission 40 years later in the remake, but they will certainly be less cute. Sticking with long overdue 1980s sequels, the Gremlins franchise will have a new chapter. Deadline.com says Warner Brothers has confirmed there will be a new film. Christopher Columbus, director of the original Gremlins, is on board, but it is unclear in what capacity. Fun fact, it was due to some of the violent scenes in Gremlins that Hollywood created the PG-13 rating. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Breezy and warmer today. It will be partly cloudy with a high of 43 this afternoon. The wind will be out of the southwest, gusting to 35 or better. Tonight, mostly cloudy with big changes. We'll drop to 19. Tomorrow, sunny, 22 by Sunday. Breezy, partly cloudy with a high of only 5 above. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
That's your WAUK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WAUKradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.